Yes. Hello, everybody. It is your one and only special girl, DJ, showing you another artist and another new day. Now, I know you guys are like, what in the world? A Thursday? This is different. Well, sometimes I got to change it up. I'm busy, right? But anyway, anywho, enough about me. It's time to know who the heck is Veronica. So, let me tell you how I interacted with Miss Veronica over here. First of all, she's the number one queen bee. Gotta respect this queen right here. Man, I mean, she is a awesome, just beyond artist to me. I got to interact with you because every year you are part of correct me, but you're part of a woman's correct me. I just lost track. But it's part of a leadership program. Correct me again?
Was it through the National Council of Negro Women?
Yes, the National Council of Negro Women. That's it. Well, I don't know why I had it in my head, but I couldn't say the words.
That's right.
Yeah, so I met you there the first time through mutual friends, like above our studios and such. And we first interacted from that moment, and we just got along instantly. And it just followed you off your page from Facebook and Instagram. And I've been keeping an eye, just like watching your whole growth of your whole artist journey. Then later, I saw you do some more artwork and everything on your Instagram, and I was like, oh shoot, she got this whole award ceremony going. Like, she out here killing the gang out here. And
oh man,
man. I was like, forget me. Like, yo, let me get Veronica on this page and everything. So she's a beast out here. She's a real true beast, a real true queen bee out here. And I don't know about y'all, but I feel like y'all gotta like really tune in on this one. So definitely enough about me and the interaction of all my fun and craziness with you. Tell me, what in the world is Veronica?
Well, first of all, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I tell you, like every time I talk to you, I can't help but smile. You bring a smile to my face. But thank you, everyone. My name is Veronica Spruill, and as she said, I am a visual artist, and I was born and raised in Jersey and currently in Philly, but haven't lost my passion for art. I specialize in graphite portraits as well as acrylic and contemporary paintings.
Nice. Just like how you went, you're not only just doing the artistry, you also pass it along too. I saw you do some workshops, some mentorships with AXO, especially. Woo woo! If you don't know what AXO is, it's one of the most awesome programs for all people of color to come and gather and challenge their art skills to science and even business, or even just in general of entrepreneurship. I mean, it goes branch of millions of awesome, cool kids internationally too. And she's actually one of the New Jersey state judges for the AXO program to painting, sculpting, and I know it was one more. Was it just visual?
Drawing. So yes, pretty much all the visual categories. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like really dope. Once again, she's just like, Erin Fisher. She's doing her thing out here, like being a cool cat. But it's just really cool to like see you just not only do your own, but also like pretty much be an influence and an eye to others, and how you really want to balance and see others and just challenge the future kids to do their own thing too. So Veronica is a beautiful, multi-talented woman out here, not only doing her job, but also pursuing her job through the young kids as well. But I just want to know, what actually got you to start doing art pieces and motivate you to just continue to do, your work today?
Well, to be honest, ever since I can remember, and I'd be mindful to look at the camera, ever since I can remember, I've been drawing since childhood. Literally, I'm finding to this day drawings I did back when I was 3 years old, So it's just always something that's been within me. I come from a creative family, and a family that always encouraged my creativity. Like, I was never stifled from being the artist that I've always was. Mm-hmm. So it started there. And actually, funny enough, I started early on with cartoons. That's where I got my start in noticing my talent, drawing Disney and Warner Brothers cartoons. And then from there, I got into portraits, and it just developed on. I haven't had any formal official training. It's all self-taught, you know, and just with what's within me, you know. So yeah, I got my start early on, literally ever since I can remember.
Wow. So pretty much it just started from curiosity and just branched off to want to become its own ambitious dream.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I like you have a really amazing eye for things, especially with topics of it's beyond culture and women's empowerment. It's also just it feels kind of like you just blossom ourselves into your work in a sense where we kind of actually show this like growth type healing. I mean, I'm going to be showing the work pretty much soon, but I noticed like in your livelihood and your lifestyle, you're more so of a person that likes to show healing and just growth and also maturity when it comes to certain topics that you choose for art pieces of any sort of topic, down to when it comes to portraits or even just faceless type characters or such. What made you find, you know, your realm, your style? Because I know it's like a mixture, almost like realism to surrealistic and abstractness. Like, what made you find, you know, this is my voice?
Well, it's funny, like my drawing style and my painting style tends to be very different. Like if you look at my drawings, they're very almost photorealistic. And then when it comes to my paintings, they're very simplistic, you know, and with the simplicity of the paintings, I think it's just, the message is just clear. You know, I aim to have a clear message, you know, where there's not too much going on, but that's just for me. You know, I just like the cleanliness of it, but with still a positive, clear message. Yeah. And with my drawings, it's just so funny how I love to get every detail within, you know, especially when it's representing someone who I truly admire. I want to do it right, you know, so that's where that comes from, you know, just wanting to make sure it's a great influence and really speaks to the viewer.
Yes. I want to show one of the pieces because this one speaks so much volumes, especially what you were talking about. Definitely please tell us in detail what made you just do this piece. Like, come on, you got but I want every single juice of what made you do this.
Oh, thank you. Well, this is a piece where it's entitled Grow Where Planted and Bloom with Grace. And and like I said, like I like my pieces to be pretty straightforward. There's no interpretation. It's a group of women, from multicultural background, all coming together and growing together, you know. And it's kind of hard to tell in this photo, but my paintings, I love to add dimension to them. So the flowers there are actually dimensional and come off the canvas in a way where it's just very powerful in person and just, it's pretty, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a pretty piece. You know, I sometimes tend to not like to say pieces are pretty, but it is what it is. You know, it's a very striking piece, and I was proud of this one. So, and I like how we have all women represented here. You know, different skin tones. You know, you can even have this. This is considered different cultural backgrounds. You know, but you have the range there. You know, and I really enjoyed working on this piece. I was up all night doing this because I just was really dove into it. You know, I loved it.
Yeah, I definitely loved it too because like when I first saw it off of your Instagram page and everything, well, not really the Instagram, it was more so of your website, which I'm going to be showing soon. I saw off the website, I was like, whoa, this is different. And I like that it is faceless because we could all adapt ourselves into your artwork and into your piece because we could all see ourselves and just, it's like a mirror in effect. And another reasoning too, it just, once again, it's just very predominant and it's just strong, especially with the color choices. What made you choose the colors down to the medium? What was the significance through that?
Well, the earth tones, I feel as if they can kind of go in a range of, you know, different areas of the house, you know what I mean, as far as displaying it. So I like the tone, that's why I chose those tones. You know, and also as far as the medium, I used acrylic paint and glass. And I chose that because it's just one that I've been really developing and working with, you know. So it's one of my favorite mediums to work with.
Okay. And then the glass is the parts of the flower.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. And sand. I'm sorry, glass and sand. I forgot to say that.
Glass and sand. Wow. Yeah. So it's a little bit, I'm guessing, just correct me, it's a little bit of the jewelry and the flowers, correct?
That's actually, the jewelry is actually acrylic paint.
What?
Yes, I do it. Yeah, I use a medium as well as paint and make it nice and thick so it pops up off of the canvas. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And it's just consistent. I mean, wow. Oh my gosh. You just like floor me. Oh my goodness. And how big is this piece again? Like the original itself.
I'm sorry?
The original piece, how big is this again?
Oh, this was 36 by 48. Yeah, so this is probably one of my bigger pieces. I did work on something that was a tad bigger, but it's one of my bigger leisure pieces.
Yeah, it's almost bigger than you.
That's about right.
How did you do? Did you use a ladder to do the art piece?
You know what? I have an art room where I have a tarp around the whole room, and I have that thing laying every which way. It's on the floor, and I have it up in angles, but I usually lay my stuff out on the floor, and that is easy for me.
Ah, there you
go. Especially when you're working with thick,
paint.
Yeah. So
that's pretty, like, that's huge. I never even personally did a piece that huge. Like the biggest eventually I'm gonna eventually get myself there. It's just amazing when I see work that is that huge. Especially it's just the time consistency and the whole process behind it. It takes a lot of work. Now, when it comes to acrylic, here's a teaching lesson for everybody. Acrylic is a little bit different than compared to oils. Oils take a little bit longer to dry than compared to acrylic. But this one, in this case, you use glass. You use multi mediums pretty much. You use glass. You use acrylic, and then a heavy type of acrylic. Like, what was the process and journey of handling these different materials to make sure things was consistent?
Well, the process, for me to do a painting does take sometimes a week or more because it's very multi-layered. You got to do the foundation, or the initial layer, and then the next step, and then you got to let that dry, and with it being such thick paint in certain areas, you have to give a day and a half to dry, so it's a multi-layered project, but I have so much fun each step of the way. It's just so much fun, to create.
I mean, to somebody, they'd be like, that sounds like a lot of work, but that's the part. It's just when you keep on just being patient with the whole piece, eventually it'll start to grow itself and everything. And I know you teach that importantly, especially when it comes to the process of your workshops and stuff. What made you start doing the workshops as well? As you do your own work, you're teaching other people through your work and such. How's that as a transition?
Well, I did that because I simply love people, especially kids. So I had a few opportunities to work at the Martin Luther King Center in Bridgewater, New Jersey, and then I volunteered at a few churches. So with those workshops, what I do is I introduce the children to an artist, and we do a project based in the style of that artist, and we always have a ball. Unfortunately, with COVID, that kind of got shut down, but I do plan on, once it goes back up, I have a couple of places that have been interested. So I'm really excited to start that up again because I really like working with the kids and seeing their excitement and learning about new people. They really get into it.
Yeah, it's really fun, especially, once again, kids have the most I can't even describe, like, their minds is just out of this freaking world. They come up with the most outstanding things too. And I just like that you have showed us, on your Instagram, once again, you showed you working with someone as well, of teaching a little bit of the works as well. Another part I wanted to go a little bit off of too while you do your workshops and stuff. What is the primary message that you want kids to or even not just kids, but your students to gravitate while they do art as well?
Well, with that, I definitely want to teach them just anything positive coming from it. That's why I do what I do. You know, I always want to be a positive influence, perseverance, working hard, things like that. So I always like to teach, you know, just those basics of, you know, just working hard and you can come up with something great. You know, sometimes the kids are like, I don't like how this came out, you know, but it's a piece of artwork. It's beautiful. It's you know, so it teaches self-acceptance. It teaches, you know, pride, you know, so even just that alone is just, it's so rewarding. And I just love seeing them beam in those moments, you know.
Yeah, and I know that because you're, well, you're expressive young woman yourself.
Yes.
If anybody don't know Veronica, she be having the most amazing, awesome hair tie and bun, and every single color.
You won't catch me without it, right?
You will never catch her without it. I mean, you can see her pink, purple, fuchsia, blossoms, cherry blossoms. I mean, you'll be seeing her in every single type of design when it comes to expression is definitely the value of your lifestyle. There's also something about you too that you don't really be like. She's side famous now. This woman is side famous. She did another piece I can't get out of my head. You did one of Ruby Dee with her husband Ossie for the theater, which was awarded for Denzel Washington. Not that was how long was that ago?
That was last September.
Yes, that's correct. That was last.
If I'm mistaken, yeah.
And that now, how in the world did you even get that opportunity to do this portrait piece? Especially, I mean, you gotta tell us the whole story of how this became the life.
That was a blessing, first of all, but my aunt's friend saw my artwork and I met him and we just connected. You know, he was a sweet guy and he was actually working on this event. And he said, you know what, it would be great if I could commission you to do a portrait of Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis. And like we said, it was the inaugural Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis Lifetime Achievement Award. And it was going to Denzel. And initially the portrait was going to go to Denzel, but then they said, you know what, since the family's going to be there, it should go to the family. And I totally agree, you know, and it was such an honor to be a part of that moment and to meet the family of Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis and then have this piece now with the estate. You know, I was just so filled that night. It was just, just such an honor. You know, it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
I mean, the way that you captured, it's just, it brings life.
Thank you.
Down to the hair, seriously, the hair, down to the hair, to the skin complexion, and just like, well, not the wrinkle, but you know what I mean. It's just so perfect. Seriously, it looks like just like how you said, your artwork can look like an exact photograph. It looks exactly like a photograph, as if you just took a picture right there and then. Definitely. Why did you choose black and white and this image as well? Because it seems very personal too.
Well, they did want a black and white drawing, I'm sorry. And I chose this image because I love the smile on both of their faces. And I did have to do some alterations and tweaking and changing. Like, for example, Ruby Dee's hair was not that way in the picture. She had different earrings. She had a different smile, in fact. And I changed Ossie Davis's clothing, switched some things around. So it did require a lot of changes, you know, to kind of make it its own. But I was really happy with the outcome. And you can almost feel the warmth in the picture, like the emotion, like you can just the way Ossie is looking at you, you know, like it's almost like a proud look in his eye, you know. And same with Ruby. I love the smile. She had a very distinct smile, and I think I captured it, you know.
Yeah, you really did. I mean, because Ruby Dee, definitely just in general, if anybody knows Ruby Dee and seen all different types of films, I mean, especially just these two, Ruby Dee has a really asymmetrical face. So for you to capture that perfect side of her. And I know instantly just seeing like both of them together is just phenomenal. It's just like as if you brought them back to life and said, yeah, come here, take a picture.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here, can you just get back up and just like, pose real quick for me?
You are.
It's so true because it just feels like I know one thing just seeing the picture, but seeing it in person is another level. I know that for a fact. It's another level. And where is it hanging in the the theater in the theater, or is it like
no, it's actually with the family now. Where specifically is I don't know. I do have to follow up with that. But with the family right now, and and I was so happy that they were happy with it.
Yeah, it's a blessing, I mean, we shared stories on that too, how it feels to, achieve not just achieve like big just accomplishments like big commissions or such, but just to bring a family like, it's what I like about your work is that it's intimate. It's very intimate. It's very personal, and you capture those moments just regardless of whatever subject that you choose, from once again faceless type of work to actual realistic portraits. You capture the beauty and the essence of unity. Definitely you go into further depths of some form of like faith and hope, in a sense, like we could get back to this loving and unconditional passion and growth with one another again. Do you feel like you also sometimes when you do your art pieces, you see yourself, or you just see a different point of view of yourself when you do your artwork as well?
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned it because you hit the nail on the head. That's my goal when I create pieces. Like, my goal is to have that, like, the viewer to feel hope, happiness, pride, just something there that instills something or just ignites something positive within them. And I aim to be that on a daily basis. I try my best. I really do, and I hope to be a light in this world and to the people that I meet. So, and I hope my artwork is that as well, just a light to somebody, So.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, trust me, it is. It's like me. Listen, everybody knows this is my personality.
Wait, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Talk about being a light. You truly are one. I tell you, you really are. You really are.
Thank you so much. It's just that I get excited and I just get joy when I see somebody who just shows that expression and just that fulfillment, even if there's no color. I mean, come on now, like, just one more time, it's like there's no color and you still showed us like brightness, you showed us character, you showed us an image of life that feels so, and it's like there's no color but you feel colorful inside because you captured that perfect smile from both of them. How long did it take you to do this piece, and what was the size of this piece too, by the way?
That's a good question. It took me it was crunch time because I actually came back from my honeymoon and went right to it. And then the event was shortly after, but I said, I made a commitment. I can do it. I think I did it in like 4 days or something. I think it was something like that. I think, but it might've been that I finished it up in 4 days. I did start before the honeymoon. My apologies. I started before the honeymoon. And then I came back, I had 4 days, and I just was like, I got to do it. And I was able to. Yeah.
Wow.
But you know what? Again, like I tell you, once I dive into something, it's the subjects, and granted, you want it to be perfect. I can be a perfectionist when it comes to portraits. Like, I got to get this right. The eyelash has to be here. This has to be there. The line right here. The dot. But because you want to do the subject justice, and they deserve that. So the time it took, I was willing to it, and I was happy to take the time to make it right.
That's so true. I like how you said that. You want to do justice to the word. you know, and it's as if like it's owned and it needs to be done and it needs to be treated equally as any other phenomenal piece that's not just your own, but also to anything from down to anybody else's, as if it was to be, you know, in the most high class like museum because of the worth. I love how you see value in your subjects as well. You know, what made you get to that point as well too, of just seeing the worth and the value of any subject or just topic or character? Like, what got you gravitated to that as well?
I do think I am particular about who I draw. And this is just coming from just for a leisure perspective, not from commissions, but I do like to focus on positive subjects. People have made a difference or trying to make a difference, you know, things like that. So I value in that sense, like what the people stood for. It really helps me with creating the piece, because that's what I cherish and hold sacred, you know, trying to make a difference, you know. So when it comes to my subjects, you know, that's where I place value. You know, I am particular about who I draw, you know. And I think it's okay, you know, but you know, that's me.
And that makes me you know how I'm about to go. Okay. Now I gotta go to my last question, the most amazing question. Everybody know, how in the world do you change your world or change the whole essence of this beautiful universe with your art? How do you do it, Veronica? How do you do it?
How do I do it? Again, I think it kind of goes back to what we talked about before. Like, when I create, I want to create something that is not only beautiful, like I do strategically like to make stuff that's visually appealing, but has a beautiful meaning behind it as well, you know? So my goal is to create something that you can hang in your house, but when you look at it, each time passing by, you might feel something here, or it might just give you that extra jolt you need for your day, you know, or remind you of somebody that you love, you know? So that's how, even if it's just changing somebody's life and just momentarily, I think I've done my job, you know. And when it comes to my portraits, you know, if I can create something for a client who, you know, wants a picture of someone that they love, you know, touching someone in that way. With my workshops, you know, the art there, just exposing kids to different things. You know, some kids never really, I mean, they get art in school, but as far as like learning about different artists they might not learn about in school, or trying different projects, you know. So I hope like just touching people in the ways that I can. That's how I hope I can change the world, my art.
The heart. Did you hear that, guys? It's the heart.
Yes.
Let's go. Miss Queen Veronica, you have done it once again. You have definitely changed the heart of multiples. And I'm just so grateful and thankful that you have joined my page. You have joined my beautiful group of people that has watched you. And I just continue to definitely I just praise you, and I just definitely thank you for your time and just your essence, but most importantly, your awesome beauty just blossoming my page. Beautiful. Don't get it wrong. Everybody, don't hurt me now. Don't hurt me with the comments. But I just love that you share that beautiful heart of yours onto this awesome page. And, you know, and this is why I do what I do. It's artists like you. You know, definitely shout out to every single person that has been onto my page. Once again, I am going to be taking a nice little gap, but I'm coming back next year because, you know, sometimes we got to do something a little new and I got to be fresh with y'all. But I'm so grateful that I had artists like you, Veronica, all the way to my beautiful person that I started off with. Shout out to Brandy Penix. Shout out to Ty Clark. Shout out to Keith. Shout out to Hayes. Shout out to Nicole Scott. Shout out to Monique. Shout out to Fairly Don Mob. I mean, you guys definitely were the reason why we have people like Veronica and people like out here, even myself included, to take the time to really showcase what is really truly important. And what is truly important is to use our hearts. And that's what I try to do as my message to convey to everybody, is that the whole thing of it is, it's not about the money. It's not about your pride. It's not about the whole fame or fortune or awards and everything. That's just part of the meaningful part. But the true rewarding thing that God has reminded us and give us is the heart, and how we use our heart to put into our talents and into our gifts. So I'm so grateful and so thankful that we got to end the 2020 with this most amazing being on the earth, Miss Veronica.
And you know what? I want to thank you once again. And I got to look here. I want to thank you once again just for, like, once you told me you wanted to interview me, I was just so flattered. You know what I mean? I appreciate a good morning text from my girlfriend. So to know somebody wants to interview me, I was just so flattered and grateful. And you are just a beautiful spirit, like I've said to you before. So keep being you, keep shining. And it's just been a pleasure.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, I appreciate
well, you guys had it. We did it, you guys. We did it. Woo! Definitely shout out if you guys ever want to see more of Miss V's work out here. Definitely just follow her right here on her Instagram page, the most awesome and fine artist. And by the way, too, her website is also over here too. So if you ever want to purchase some of her awesome merch, definitely check out. Let me show them real quick. Let me switch a reel. Give me a few minutes because sometimes it takes a minute.
That's all right.
Definitely. So if you guys ever want to just contact her, see more about her events, or just see her shop, or get to know a little bit more about her, this is her awesome website right here. And definitely just be a blessing to every single being. But once again, you guys already know that time. We're going to love one another. We're going to hug one another virtually, safely. But most important, we are going to do art together, you guys. Thank you again for your time. You guys stay safe. I'll see you guys next year. Once again, it was Veronica. Woo! See you guys next time.
Take care.
Happy holidays and bye.
Bye.